Salam alaikum, guys. I am just in Dubai. I've come up to my room to pray Asr. I've been chilling down by the pool and I thought I would take this opportunity to spread some dawah. Actually, I think this is the first video I've actually posted on this channel since I reverted. Alhamdulillah. So, yeah. And I figured that, yeah, it could be useful for me to give my perspective on things that maybe people who are interested in reverting or committing to Islam, who maybe things seem a bit like what you don't know scares you, but you believe there's more to this. And I really just, some of the things, I'll tell you why I reverted, and I'm going to get into all of that. And I'm also going to say the things which kind of prevented me from reverting earlier, but which shouldn't have, because I used to be an atheist through most of my teenage years, my 20s. I was an atheist. My family weren't religious, and I just kind of viewed religion as something that people would use as a crux for hope because they needed it as a coping mechanism. And I thought it was silly, to be honest with you, and I didn't understand. And by the way, guys, I'm not an Islamic scholar. I'm on my deen and I'm trying to get better and better every day. Like even my prayer mat, I'm still learning prayer. I'd say I was 90% there, but like even this, I will get into it. My brother Hamza gave me this, but some of the things that seem daunting because you're a Westerner and you don't know Arabic, and the idea of praying in a foreign language is crazy, but all of it is not to be feared. And it was the best move I've made. So anyway, in my 20s, in my 26, 27, I'd say I was going through a hard time. I'd had some success in my early 20s, and then my business was struggling. And I don't know, I guess when things were hopeless, I turned to God for help. Like I was desperately needing help. Like I was struggling with some addiction I was struggling with, and instead of getting into just the details, I was begging. I wish I could stop, and I couldn't. And then one day I was given this power and I was able to stop everything. And I always attributed that to God. Since I was 28, I had it was looking bleak, and then I turned it all around, and it was so sick, and it was inhumanly powerful that I was able to do it. So I thank God, alhamdulillah, for that ability. And so then I say, okay, well, I know God's there, but I figured that I didn't need a religion, that just loving people and them loving you, and that makes you a good person. But what I started to see is the fabric of society all kind of confused and messed without faith. So it's all good that me believing in God, but me not committing to a faith is also kind of lazy, because if I know God exists, then it's kind of up to me to be disciplined and worship God in the way it's been asked. So my friend is a Muslim, born a Muslim, and I always figured he was he's obviously a top guy, he's my best friend, but I always figured that, well, he's just a great guy, but that's not representative of all Muslims. And I met more Muslims. I'm like, oh yeah, but these must be the anomalies. And at a certain point, I thought, hang on, what I'm being told is this true? So I did my own research. And by the time I'm 30, 31, I realized that I am going to commit to Islam, but I didn't want to do it because there was still a lot of haram in my life. I would still drink quite regularly. And I had a really, really close bond with my granddad, and he would drink all the time. And I always thought if I reverted, I'd have to do it after he passed away. So when he did pass, I reverted. And that was that. But I do wish I hadn't have waited, because I kind of view it differently now. I view that what it is when I reverted, I thought, okay, I'm going to do my best to be good, but I'm going to accept myself sinning in certain areas. But that's just not the way it is. What it is you're an imperfect human. We're all imperfect by design. And all Islam is a guide of your hand. So if Islam is a straight path, it doesn't matter if you're 20 foot out this side, you'll find yourself coming in. I was kind of waiting for a perfect time. I'm not going to, I don't want to commit until I'm not sinning anymore. But I just don't think that was the right way. So yeah, I think I would be astronomically further ahead of my journey if I'd ever bitten the bullet and not been afraid of the ways it was going to sacrifice my life. Because what I actually understand now, when I'm deep, 2 years now into reverting, alhamdulillah, it's 2 years. And I realize now that everything is a transitional journey. And the things that I thought I would be at peace with still doing, because I don't think that kind of sin is that bad, it wasn't okay. And I found myself just becoming a better and better Muslim. So if I'd have done this 10 years ago, I would be, who knows where I'd be. But anyway, it's all a journey. And I wasn't ready to accept Islam back then. And it took me a long time to I guess to pluck up the courage, but it should never have even been that. But yeah, that's why I wanted to speak to you guys. And anyone who has any comments or questions, you can feel free to fire them away, or message me on Instagram as well, James Lake Show, and I will be more than happy to show you. Because I think the first time, like, you don't understand and you've been told all these things about Islam, and it couldn't be any further from the truth. The most purpose-filled existence is an existence for God. And I can tell you, since I signed on the dotted line, for lack of a better term, when I took my Shahada, which was a pivotal moment in my life, because it was the best decision I ever made. Because right now, no matter how bad or good, and I've had some crazy things happen to me over the last couple of years, lost multiple family members, had stress with my business, which is crazy. Without having Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I think I would have been lost, because it's the ultimate. It was the ultimate guidance, you know, no matter what's happening, even if you've sinned or you've done something wrong, you don't have to wonder how I should be. And even in the most bleakest, toughest times, I'm able to take solace knowing that God's sending me a test. And before, from my own nihilistic, atheistic head way back, I found that I viewed things in a more, I wasn't a victim. I've always been someone who's like, no excuses, you keep going, no excuses, you keep going. But you can't help but get annoyed, like, what's going on? Why is this going wrong? All this is going wrong today. But when you view everything as a test, and God tests his favorites, it completely changes your perspective. And every trial and tribulation that God puts you through, you come out better and stronger from it. So therefore, you have to thank him for it. Like, just that belief system in itself, I mean, how beautiful. That any resistance that's put against your life, any trial and tribulation, any turmoil, is a gift, not... Do you know what I mean? Some of the people who have everything in their life with very little, well, we all have our own trials and tribulations, but who you view have got it easier than you. Yo, he tests his favorites. And when you understand, you see life that way. Like I have seen too many times in my past where something went wrong, and then a year later it made sense as to why that happened. And now the way I understand everything is, you couldn't tell me that's not God now. Because I'm endlessly happy for every time anything's been put in my way, anything that's caused a headache. And yeah, it really has been the best thing I've ever done. I've got pretty far down now. Like I make all my prayers always. I just completed my second Ramadan, which was amazing. And actually my second Ramadan was like profound, right? Because I initially committed to Islam thinking that I would still listen to music. I would still wear jewelry, all this kind of stuff. Like, admittedly, I still wear jewelry on holiday, but like I'm getting used to not wearing jewelry now. A lot more modest life. I don't listen to music anymore. Because I thought that's a silly rule, but I don't listen to music. And I understand why. Like, firstly, for the industries and the evil it kind of supports, one. But secondly, because it's like another drug. It's like pumping emotions into your head the whole time, you know? And yeah, and I think it's a distraction. And I think it keeps you away from things. And you get all these like messages which you don't think are polluting your head, but they are. And I never thought I would be the person saying this, because I thought that would be crazy. But really it is. But I don't want to scare anyone off who's thinking of reverting, because that seems like that's quite a strict rule to follow. And if you listen to a lot of music, the idea of not listening to music would be crazy to you. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, when I reverted, I thought I would still listen to music, but I don't want to, because I feel kind of not right doing it. And I tell you what, the journey is just beautiful. Like, yeah, amazing. I'm going to probably make some more videos on this, guys. And I want to keep talking about my reversion. And I think also, as I progress, it's probably helpful for my own kind of knowledge and keeping on my deen if I learn and then I bring it to the camera. And yeah. So maybe I'll do another video, but I just want to touch down that I've reverted since I last made a video, and yeah, my life is very, very different now. So yeah, alhamdulillah. I know that this is an interesting thing, guys, actually. Just before anyone thinks that, oh, it's a very strict religion. It is a very strict religion, but do you know what they prove is people operate better under rules, and I operate better under rules. I was someone who was doing whatever I wanted, when I wanted, and I felt like I didn't owe anything to anyone, because I could fund myself with way more money than I needed, and I was my own boss. So then I think, and then you almost become, you start acting like, it's like an entitlement, when really we should all be grounded. we should always have rules and discipline because there's so much more happiness in it. And since I've lived a very much more disciplined life and a very much more modest life, and I know modest with an asterisk because I obviously have a lot of nice things, but my relationship towards things has been completely different, or as we say in Islam, the dunya. So I really don't have any attachment to things anymore. And it's kind of mad. It's a profound journey. It really is a profound journey. And the further you get down it, the further you kind of feel like everything's meaningless. But also that's kind of beautiful. I mean, the things, and really what's important is looking out for your brothers and your sisters, taking care of your family, and doing what God's always wanted us to do. And honestly, you guys might be listening to me thinking I'm crazy, and I would have thought I was crazy. Hearing me, I would have never thought in a million years this would be me, but it is. And it's the best thing that ever happened to me, guys. Alhamdulillah. So I really, yeah, I just want to spread the message, man, because even like when it comes to the prayer, right, it's really not that daunting and it's all very straightforward. You can get it down pretty much to a T. What happened is I'd been just reciting prayer off of videos, and I would play like a YouTube video while I did my prayer. But I got my, the linguistics still wasn't great. And then I went to my brother's house and I prayed to him and I said, I can get about 60% of the prayer, but I can't lead yet. And he's like, I will have to change that. And he sent me this prayer mat, which says it. And now I've been praying with this for about 4 weeks. I'd already been praying for my 5 a day, but just not speaking it exactly correctly for the best part of 2 years. And then this last month, I've really improved it. So this last couple of months, I've stopped listening to music. My prayer has like really got up. I plan on visiting Mecca next year. So inshallah, let's see what happens. And yeah, it's just amazing, man. And I love being out here in Dubai where you can just get the call to prayer. And actually I have to go in a second. I got to pray Asr with my prayer mat. And like I say, guys, you do not have to speak Arabic to really get on your deen and start learning, because I'm trying to learn Arabic, and it's just beautiful. Like, you're never going to have your soul soothed no matter what hardship is coming at you than you will with Islam. So yeah, I cannot sing the praises enough, and I will be more than happy to speak to any of you guys one-on-one if you want to know more about it. I know it sounds probably crazy. I've literally turned like yeah, I never thought I'd be religious like this, but it's the most beautiful thing. And even, yeah, alhamdulillah. And yeah, okay, so here's my prayer mat, you see. So it says all of the prayer, like Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, Ihdinas siratal mustaqim, Siratal alayhim, Garak Maghdub alayhim, Walad-Dallin, Ameen. See? It's getting there, guys. And there's more, but hey, let me do it on the camera when I'm really getting it down to a T. But hey, guys, any questions, fire them below. And if you, anything you want to know, over and out. And hopefully I'll be making more videos on Islam as I continue on this journey. And every day I'm becoming better and better. And do you know what the biggest thing is? I thought I was a good person before Islam. And I realized that I'm so much more giving and so much more patient and so much more friendly to all of those around me. And I kind of realized I didn't really have that much patience or tolerance. Now, even if people are rude to me, like my own family, I'll be honest, my own family have not been completely happy about this, and relationships have nearly broke down. But the old me would have told them where to go, but I've exercised patience. Like, look, I understand. Because it triggers egos, you know, because now you're looking for guidance from outside of where people wanted you to take their guidance. But I don't take that personal. And I truly love those, even within my family, when they're not 100% with it, because I know in time they'll understand. And in time, as long as you show people you're good, they will understand and they will see it's the best for you. Because I came from a place where my mum and dad literally had to worry about, was I going to have a drug overdose on a weekend? If I go back 10 years. So they got a guy who doesn't drink, who I'm making my 5 prayers a day. I'm doing what I can for those around me. I'm endlessly patient. Like, it's literally a sin for me to disobey my mum and dad unless they were taking me off my deen. So like, I have to be nice. I have to be a good son. Heaven's at my mum's feet, and my mum is super supportive with it anyway. And also, yeah, my dad, I just think sometimes it's confusing for people, but really I always say, look at the end result, you know, like I'm not being full of it. I mean, if I was my son now versus 10 years ago, it would take me a million times over this way. So even if do you know what I mean? I don't want to ramble too much, guys, but yeah, it's a very cool thing. And I could face rejection from my closest family and have complete internal peace because of Islam, alhamdulillah. So Yeah, it's a magic. It's really magic, guys. Not magic, you know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing. But anyway, guys, like I said, I'm not an Islamic scholar, so I'm only talking from my own experience, and I just want to spread dawah before, well, Asr's now, so I'm gonna go pray. Over and out, guys. See ya.